But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Hi, Jeff back again, and that verse is from Galatians 5:22-23, and it sets the tone for today's review and look back at segment 2 of the equipping sessions. Last time, I focused on the why part of our witness, why we believe, why we came to, and why we stay in the church. And we highlighted the positive benefits and the positive outcomes of becoming or being a Christian. The last part of segment 2, during the equipping sessions, we talked about spiritual conversations, or more precisely, answering questions we may get when we witness. If we truly try to witness and invite others to church, we will at times get some questions or pushback, some sincere and others not so. At the sessions, I promised that I would get a cheat sheet with some answers to some common questions that you might expect. And I'm still working on it, and I will let you know when I get it completed and available. In the meantime, there are several good books on the table outside the library that you could borrow if you want to be better prepared when you engage others in conversations and may get these types of spiritual questions. So rather than try to answer or even summarize a lot of the answers today, I want to stay focused on that same word as last time, why. So essentially, it's a transition from why we believe what we do to why others don't. In many cases, that may be the best path to witness to somebody else, asking them why they say or believe what they do. And we also then need to remember when we're doing that, of course, is to apply all those virtues that we just read from Galatians 5. So while some questions are sincere and deserve a clear answer, like how do I get saved? We can answer that, or we can be very quick to get back to the person who's asked that question. But with more difficult questions or pushback, such as, aren't there many paths to God? If we try to answer that without understanding more about why they asked that, it could lead or may lead to a superficial or unconvincing answer for them. And often that's not the real question they're asking or the real motivation behind it. They may be saying, show me the path, or in Christian terms, the way. So with these more difficult questions and conversations, what we can do in many, if not most cases, is try to understand and bridge that gap between why we believe and why they don't. In other words, try to get what's behind the question or the statement. Here are some examples of questions or statements that we might hear or that you may have heard. You may get a mild comment such as, I don't believe in religion, or I don't need to go to church. Or a theological challenge like, how can a good God permit evil? Or even the demeaning insult like, it's all a fairy tale meant to soothe weak minds. In every case, you can always respond with empathy and sincerity and restate their comments, probably in the form of a question, to try to engage a respectful conversation. For example, how you might respond to those 3 examples I just gave. So why do you say or believe you don't need religion or you need to go to church? And for the question on suffering, are you asking why God allows suffering? Or are you saying that an all-powerful God would not allow suffering or evil, and therefore there is no God? And if you wish to turn the other cheek, as Jesus instructs us in Matthew 5 from the Sermon on the Mount, and engage that condescending type atheist, you could ask, why is it so obvious to you there is no God? And see where that may lead. You actually may find there's a searching soul right underneath. However you pose your response, it's with the hope it will lead to further conversation and discussion where you can provide a better answer to what may be their real question or their issue. For example, the statement that I don't need religion or go to church, that could be because of a bad experience they've had earlier in life. And with some assurance, they might try again. The question on suffering, the person may actually be talking about their own pain and might be asking, how can God help me? And again, if you get the God as a fairy tale atheist statement, they might really be asking, please help me believe in God, or I'm lost, or I don't have meaning in my life, or I'm afraid. I'm afraid of dying. So these can be difficult questions or difficult people. And even when giving up may seem to be the only option, I would suggest another of Jesus' instructions to that he gave to his disciples in Matthew 19:14. And that's, if anyone will not receive you or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet when you leave that house or that town. Perhaps just a little bit more forbearance, to borrow a virtue from the Galatians 5 verse, or by remembering the first few words of the famous love verse of 1 Corinthians 12. Love is patient. If we do that, maybe we can persevere a bit more in engaging others. So we won't have all the answers or be able to help everyone see the light, but we can always be respectful, understanding, and let love of Jesus reflect through us. So fear not if you may not have the exact answer. Just be the best version of Christ you can be. Next time, we'll cover segment 3 of the equipping sessions on hospitality and discipleship. Until then, remember the why. God bless.